The aim of MOA is to tell stories about our marine world, and I hope that each one of these sculptures tells its own story. The artworks are a series of hybrid forms that are half human, half natural marine life that are approximately 2.2 metres tall. And the sculptures predominantly feature marine biologists whose work has led to a great understanding of the Great Barrier Reef and underwater marine ecologies. And I've used a variety of influences in the design, from natural mangroves and fig trees to several types of coral and mollusks. And by integrating these forms, I hope that we will show how humans and nature are both interdependent and ultimately one of the same. I decided to call the sculptures Sentinels because I think a lot of people actually feel that our underwater world is out of sight, whereas these sentinels are always metaphorically watching, protecting and sharing stories of the sea. I've been working on these sculptures for the past 2 years. It's been very different. Working during a pandemic meant that I had to adjust my normal process. Firstly, I start with photographs of each of the models to assess their body shapes and to sculpt their portraits. And I then use digital technology to scan natural elements that could then morph into a series of forms. These initial base forms and shapes were then 3D milled and hand sculpted to create a positive, and this was then silicon molded, a special stainless steel armature created inside, and then a rig designed to fill the molds upside down. It has required quite a bit of engineering, as these sculptures are almost 4 tons, were transported from the UK and then be attached to some large-scale foundations in Australia. Ultimately, they will all be anchored to the sea floor. Each of these works is made from a new green polymer concrete that has been developed in Australia and actually uses 75 to 87% less embodied carbon than standard Portland cement. These artworks are all designed to last for hundreds of years underwater, and it's hoped that they'll be quickly colonised and changed by the marine environment. It's been a real privilege working with some of the best marine biologists in the world, and it's actually afforded me a fascinating insight into their studies and practices, and I've seen a side of the reef that I've actually never seen before. I hope that these sculptures will shine a spotlight on some of the incredible research, conservation efforts, activism, and traditional methods that are used to protect and understand the Great Barrier Reef. And I also hope that these artworks inspire people to learn more about the science that underpins the conservation of our natural wonders. And of course, ultimately, I hope that these works become a living and evolving part of the marine ecosystem, emphasizing both its fragility and inherent beauty.